You can't get more ironic than human nature basically being a problem. Welcome back to another episode of Inward News. It's your boy Dre. We're going to start off with this crazy story today. 24 people in Georgia have been indicted for slavery. I don't think they put slavery on the indictments. I don't know what they put on the indictments. But it's because they smuggled 100 plus people from Mexico and Central America to work their fields. The victims were forced to dig and garden for onions at gunpoint. They received little food and water, and some of them were raped. The sick bastards responsible supposedly made $200 million in the process. Slavery is back, apparently. So over 100 of the Latino community were smuggled and forced to dig for onions, and some were raped. I'm sure there was other injuries and stuff like that, but whoever those 24 people is, lock them up. Throw away the key. There doesn't need to be a trial. There doesn't need to be any discussion. You found them. Get rid of, that's not even the worst story of today. The House passed a $768 billion defense bill. We just ended the war in Afghanistan, so what does the defense need all that money for? Seriously. And I can tell you it's not going to the soldiers. Because as a soldier, I can tell you right now it wasn't going to us. We never had money for training. We had to pick and choose who went where. Food was always a discussion. So the budget ain't coming to us. Some other people that cared more for facts researched this. I wrote that. It's still funny to me. They researched this and said the cost of giving homeless folks a house for a year would be $20 billion. So it would be $20 billion annually to house the homeless. And vaccinations for the whole planet. If America funded all vaccinations for the planet, it'd be $25 billion a year. So if we just pay for everybody's vaccinations, it wouldn't have to be too many years of $25 billion. That's just like a one-time thing. Now the homeless, $20 billion for, I guess if they're counting utilities and all that, but that's still $768 billion. So just those two would be 45, which means we would have $723 billion left over. What are we doing? Kelloggs workers been on strike because Kelloggs ain't paying like that. Or I guess they paying, but they ain't giving people breaks. They ain't giving people like time off. Folks is working like upwards of 70 to 80 hours a week. Like, it's ridiculous. What you call it? They tried to come to an agreement, and apparently the agreement like supported the older workers, but it was still punishment to like the younger folks. So the older folks were still like, well, we sticking with the young bloods, and we ain't gonna cross the picket line. They ain't no scabs. So Kellogg's put out an application there, or they said, they wanted people to apply, and folks tried to apply, but then Reddit and Reddit and Twitter people worked together, and they basically crashed the site by sending in a bunch of bogus applications. Like, they just made sure that, hey, y'all ain't gonna get no money if we can't get no money. An Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois had a structure collapse, and apparently some people were injured, but it was like 50 to 100 people that got trapped inside the building. And basically it's just another representation of how terrible Amazon is to its workers and its working conditions. Cause like, structure collapse? Come on, man. Stop building these buildings so fast. Get them up to code. Also pay your people, let them have breaks, man. Shouldn't be no reason people are peeing in bottles just so they ain't gotta waste time at work. 29-year-old Pierre Tyler killed a woman because she was leaving him. Oh yeah, I didn't say it. 29-year-old Pierre Tyler, a Chicago cop, killed a woman because she was leaving him. We need better mental health checks on police officers, because if recent years, well, it's always been this way, but if recent years ain't taught you, these cops ain't mentally sound. Like, the cops are wilder than every city, every background, every ethnicity. Like, check your cops, man. We need better mental health checks. We need therapists on duty. Stop sending these cops to like social worker cases. There's a mental health issue. Send in a mental health professional. Don't send in a nigga with 6 months of training and a gun. The hell? A billionaire named Michael Steinhardt had to return $70 million worth of relics that he stole from other countries. It was a total of 180 stolen objects that he was using to decorate his home. And after all this money and items were taken and used for the vibes in his house, he was not arrested or fined. They said return it, and he said okay, and nothing else happened. Like, I wish I had a story about a black person stealing so I could put it after this, just so I could make that funny transition. But like that's it. This nigga stole 70 million worth of stolen relics. That means like cultural artifacts. It wasn't just things they took. Like, this meant something to the countries that they were taken from. And they was like, man, return it. He was like, all right, I guess. No type of legal ramification, no type of punishment, none of that. Dallas Love Field Airport robbed a lady of 100 racks. Apparently, a canine sniffed out the money and they wanted to blame it on the dog. But the people did it. I mean, the dog can smell what he smelled, but it's the people that made the decision. So it's not illegal to carry a bunch of money, but I think if you have over 5K or over 10K or something, you got to like clear it through customs to say you have that amount of cash on you. And I guess you got to have some reason to have that amount of cash, or else, investigation. But for them to seize 100 racks off this person, no reason, nothing, didn't give it back, didn't acknowledge it, just took their money. And then took a picture with it. They put the dog and all the money together. They took a picture and posted it out. Like, bro, you flexing that you just robbed somebody. But this goes back to, if you're in law enforcement, you need more mental health checks, because what the hell you own that you can rob somebody of 100 racks? Now, if it later comes out that this person sold drugs or something like that, cool. But you ain't know that at the time. You just took a nigga money. A man in Florida, speaking of drugs, was hanging out in the Florida Keys and came up on some real keys. 69 pounds of cocaine was found and turned in. I don't know what it is with folks in Florida and getting all this cocaine and drugs and taking pictures with it and turning it into the police. Now, if you don't get your drugs and dip, anybody got to know. Ain't nobody got to know at all. Like, whatsoever. You messing up. A top PlayStation executive whose name is George Cacioppo, was recently fired because he tried to arrange a meetup with a 15-year-old boy into his house.
Who you out here to meet tonight, Dad?
There's no excusing this, and this is why we need to get Gilan the hell out of here.
I can call the cops, or we can have a conversation.
Like, this is ridiculous.
You want it, Jeff?
But also, remember, kids, see a pedophile, beat a pedophile. The power is yours.
Call the cops.
Travis Scott, $10 billion mega lawsuit from Texas. I don't even know what else to say about that story. Kylie can't pay it. I'm sure the Kardashians could come together and pay that, but they're going to be on him for a while. $10 billion? Yeah. And, it's only cool because, that weak-ass apology he did. Come on, man. And now on to the Y'all Hiring segment. Mr. Sir is a lifestyle brand. Their clothes is meant to be worn. So don't go out, putting on the clothes, trying to do crazy stuff, doing all the extra stuff, man. It's just meant to put on clothes and look good in public. It's unisex, so you can find your size and wear it. Pronouns and body types don't matter. Whatever you identify as, whatever size you is, whatever you want to put on, it's for everybody. Ain't no toxic masculinity. Ain't no toxic femininity. Just put on the clothes. They got hoodies, tracksuits, and even little pins for hats and jackets and stuff. Like the little, they didn't say ceramic, but it was like you can feel it. Like, I think it's like the rubber joints. But I don't know what I'd be talking about, man. Get it. It looked good. It was shiny. So hit them up. Get you some clothes. Go look good. Go stretch your stuff. And T. Alexandria is a beauty brand that offers body butters and oils and stuff. They got a big selection of smells. They even got products for specific skin types. So if you got skin issues, or they got products for specific skin types like large pores, small pores, oily skin, dry skin, stuff like that. And if you got skin issues, they got a magic elixir that's supposed to like rejuvenate and heal your skin if it's dry and all that. And they currently have a 35% off sale until Friday. So take advantage of that. Get a hold of that while that's still going. Yeah, I don't have nothing else. Energy Waist Beads is a company that gives you waist beads where the beads come straight from the motherland, Ghana to be specific. I ain't one of those people that just completely comes from Africa. It comes from Ghana. Waist beads can help you track weight. It's a spiritual thing. I think it's something else about them. I just know you can look good in them. I'm a guy. They're very sturdy. So if you were to get snatched on anything, like if you're walking by and they like grab you, you'll be good. Or if something was to, snatch onto them for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know what you do. If someone was to just, grab him, hey, I don't know. They're good for that too. It's also free shipping for orders over $40. I know there's like colors and the colors mean things, but I don't know nothing about that. Go to the Instagram. It's right there. I think there's also a website. Go to the website. I'm sure it has the same stuff on there. But yeah, get you some beads. Get you them colors. They don't, tracking weight. They don't do nothing about your actual weight. But if they tight and they loosen up, if they start rolling up or falling down, do you know you're either gaining or losing weight? That's just something you got to be aware of. It helps you track it. You can't get specific numbers, but you can see where you're going. Yeah, and that's it for this week. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.